Greetings, children of darkness. Welcome back to the class trial of the century, where I'm sucking yet doing good. This is, I believe, third part of the trial. Yeah. And I think we're about to find out who did this. Well, y'all about to find out.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other.
Anyway,
So switching the nameplates would be
getting
no problem.
the legal situation out. Irony. Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc is owned by Spike, Chunsoft, and NIS America. And y'all know who I am. Yoroku Zenko, the Lord of Darkness and Bringer of Chaos.
And the one who switched the names was...
Right.
Okay, then
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who'd even know to switch the nameplates.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
Let's see.
She wanted someone
Someone
to
knew?
come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched.
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person. That's where the answer lies.
what happened then? Whoever she invited over came. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yet perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just...
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Oh, fuck me.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword. Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife?
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for this. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who...
I think I get it! So the culprit came in, found the kitchen knife, then they took the knife and attacked. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then, after they broke her wrist with the...
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend...
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of...
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So,
How can you know that just by looking at...
like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already... It's safe to assume that's because whoever... There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it...
No, that's not it at all. I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the...
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh my.
You're no different! You smell like a big fat ugly donkey!
Something stinks around here.
To take that as an insult or a compliment.
Insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right...
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword...
And the one who attacked...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an...
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you maybe the reason she wanted to was so that she could pin the crime on you.
Sayaka wanted to...
That would also explain why she would switch. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted, and by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would... But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms.
So all that's why she's...
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cut. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she...
Plus, she was the a totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan, she launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack. That must be when her wrist got broken. and she was forced.
The tables were suddenly turned on her.
The table has tabled.
Hands of the one she
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey, hey! You guys have totally derailed the... You're being super boring right now. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on if we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong!
Right off the bat, bitch.
There still might be one clue left.
Dining, wait, what did you...
The dying message. She wrote something on the 11037. Written in...
Well, before we get too far, can we really be sure that Sayaka...
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. What the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro, you're a computer nerd or whatever, right?
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's...
Oh! Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're... Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connected... Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa! You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting...
But even if that really is an N, N037.
Rotate the image one...
Oh my god.
Huh? You just... So, who's...
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
You know what? The killer is...
If you turn the message around...
I'm gonna call it here. Just cause I'm a smartass. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like and a share. Actually, no. No, keep going.
It becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
That face. Let's see, what's the time on this one? Yeah, I can go a little bit longer.
What the hell are you
Talking
talking
about?
about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not... She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up... Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and...
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence...
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
because the killer stabbed Sayaka, and to dispose of the shirt covered in...
But one piece burned off and got...
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But they...
Are you finally starting to understand?
Yeah. I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the... And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash. The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to just...
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without you...
But if you can't get past the gate...
Yes, you could.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball.
But how would you use...
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi? Hifumi had the key. So the only was because the killer was able to hit the switch without... Once they got in the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence...
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least the pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a... Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
And I'm gonna call it here. Come back next time when we end this case once and for all. Anyway, my children of darkness, do not give in to despair. Always have hope. Have fun out there. Be yourself. Stick to what you do. Don't let other people drag you into despair. And watch out for evil teddy bears. If you like this video, give it a like. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your family friends. Share it with your teachers. Share it with your porn stars and your hookers and prostitutes. You know, share it with the cops. I'm sure they'll get a kick out of it. Anyway, tune in next time when we end this Law and Order shit and kill the killer. Bye bye for now.